him for the first 8 laps of this one. Derek Ramirez sitting third, and I was the one who said earlier tonight I thought maybe it was going to be Ramirez on the redemption track from last night and what happened there. So Ramirez sitting in third, he'll be one to watch. Tyler Wolff, Tanner Mullins on that second double file row as well.
Any first-time winner is is good for the series. You mentioned not wanting to play favorites there, so that's certainly the time winner. Somebody I hadn't won in a while. You're definitely happy for them, and he's deserving, man. He has hit this tour hard, so that would be big for him. And it looks like the 4R of Derek Ramirez may be being sent to the tail of the field. That's what's been the holdup here. They've been trying to take a look over on the race and dirt monitor. He's pulled out of line. That's my guess. Wolff certainly contested his spot. Now Ramirez will have a talk with Ryan Staley on the front straightaway. So not sure what happened with the 4W and the 4R. I caught the tail end of it where Wolff was spun sideways. You can see the right rear quarter panel is crinkled up there on the 4W as he drove by. I didn't see what happened. Spun down in the infield, kind of caught the end of that, and he just kind of woed up. And that's my guess. If he thought he was nipped there, that's why he pulled to a stop instead of kept going, as he would have just taken off had not. But
Ramirez now looking to maybe pull back into position, so not 100% sure what the call is here, but we'll get the field restacked as they should be. Todd Staley well in control up here in the tower. So I'm sure at the end of the day, whatever Todd Staley says goes, and that's going to be the way it is. What we do know, Tyler Davis out in front of this one again, 8 laps down, 42 laps to go. Jacob Blees in that second position.
So I'm going to retract the statement there. We were getting that sorted out, and now Wolff heading around to the back of the field. And he's going to stop and have a word with Ryan Staley as well. A little bit of a blame game going on, I'm sure. No, he was checking up. No, he drove through me. He was checking up. He drove through me. So Ryan's going to get the earful down there. Little younger brother, not necessarily little brother. Logan says, man, I listen, I'm the one that gets ripped all the time on the track. Ryan's getting that right now, right?
Yeah.
Like he's getting a little bit of that. Like I said, I didn't see what happened. I know they were taking a look on the monitor that's on the other end of the booth from us, so I couldn't take a look at it. But I know obviously some contact here, just trying to make the call as to who is going to be credited with the caution.
Well, again, obviously, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what these guys think. Todd Staley going to be the one to make the final call, and that's the way that it's going to be.
So, Pat, kind of discussing here, trying to decide who the caution is going to be charged against. Could you tell anything that happened down there between the 2 4 cars?
I could not. That's what we were just discussing down here, too, to try to see if anybody else had seen exactly what had happened. So, no, unfortunately, I can't give you any more knowledge than we have down here or what you have up there. Sorry about that.
So working to get the lineup righted here. Tyler Davis, he's going to be the next person's going to lobby him for counting caution flags here, right? Like he'd be halfway on his way to a win if we were counting cautions after this.
Yeah, let the laps click away, no problem. Yeah, absolutely. This is NASCAR, right?
Logan Staley texting, it's kind of nice to see someone else get yelled at this time.
Ryan Staley doing a great job down there in the infield. Of course, used to seeing Ryan Staley in the flag stand this weekend. Not the case. Down there kind of directing traffic in the infield. So, again, good to see him down there. Logan, hope you're doing well at home and hope we see you back out on the tour soon.
Yeah, Ryan, he's been manning some of the social media this weekend and stepping out of the flag stand, doing some on-track duties as well. So certainly plays a versatile role in USMTS on top of the marketing partnerships as well for both USMTS and USRA. So I just hope he leaned in with the right side on one and the left side on other, man. Get that evened out there. That's what you got to do.
There you go. So question now. Tyler Wolff came from the back of the field last night and maybe with another caution or two was in contention for a win. He's got 42 laps. He's a little hot under the collar. Do we keep an eye on the 4W from the back of the field?
I'm going to. I'm going to see what he's going to do back there. It's going to be interesting to see if he can roll up through the field. You know, he started 26th last night, finished in the 7th spot, so that'll be interesting. Tyler Davis out in front, though. He will have control of the restart next time around. The 21 of Jacob Lease electing to go to the inside. That moves Ramirez up to his outside. Mullins and Tim, that is the top 5. Ready to relight the candles here this evening. 8 laps in, 42 to go. And we are back to green coming off of turn 4.
Tyler Davis rolls off into turns 1 and 2. Again, hits the same top third of the racetrack. Now here comes Derek Ramirez. He'll take over the runner-up spot from the 21 of Blease. Blease not going to have anything of it, though. He'll fight back to the inside as Davis continues to lead lap 9.
So Davis, your leader on lap number 9. Ramirez right through the middle. That second place spot. Blease still chugging along the inside. Good racing between those two. Jake Tim's going to be a factor here shortly. He's rolled up into the 4th place spot. Keep an eye on that Gorilla Mill 49 as he moves forward. Listen,
if Tyler Davis is going to pick up his first USMTS win, he's going to earn it. A ton of heavy hitters immediately behind him inside the top 10. Second is the 4R of Ramirez. Jacob Lease runs 3rd. Jake Tim runs 4th. Tanner Mullins rounds out the top 5. And then, oh yeah, by the way, there's Terry Phillips and Rodney Sanders just behind him.
Yeah, TP, the wily veteran, ready to get up on the wheel. He works down to the inside of the 20 of Sanders. That's the battle for the 6th place spot. Those two duel just outside of your top 5. Is out in front. It's Davis, your leader. Ramirez in 2nd. Blease in 3rd. Tim in 4th. And Tanner Mullins makes up the top 5.
Jake Tim trying to pull the trigger on a pass for the 3rd position. He's on the podium right now. Jacob Blease continuing to fight to the inside, but Tim going to get it done off of turn number 4.
Yeah, Jake Tim. He looks really good right now. Not paying attention closely to lap times, but he certainly get around this place very well. A couple tenths slower right now than your top 2, but he hasn't had clear sailing like Davis and Ramirez have, so we'll see what Tim can put together here as we complete lap number 14.
Rodney Sanders right now lurking in 6th. He's working just behind Tanner Mullins in the 0-2. As I say that, caution flag going to fly once again. We've got, I think that's the 44 of DeVolder sitting around the top side of turn number 3.
Yeah, Shane DeVolder stopped at the top side of turn number 3, draws the caution. 14 laps completed of 50. Put together a decent green flag run. Pat, as that caution comes out there for the 44, let's talk about some of these drivers at the front of the field. Tyler Davis still smooth and steady out front. Ramirez in 2nd. Jake Tim looks to be moving forward as well in the 49.
He does, and like you say, Derek Ramirez, it looked like he was going to, take the pass for the lead, but then Tyler Davis kind of saw him and started moving around as well. It's kind of cool to see him moving, searching for the top, searching for the bottom. As long as Tyler Davis hits his marks, it seems like he's in, in a good position, but it's tough running that top of 1 and 2. If you hit one of those bumps just wrong, he can turn you sideways and you can lose a spot or two. So, yeah, some really good racing up front. We've got a little ways to go, so we'll see how this shakes out. And we know, as in the past, these double foul restarts can be really interesting, and there can be some movers and shakers with that.
A few guys to watch that have been battling as well. Of course, Rodney Sanders, Terry Phillips, those two have been racing hard for the 6th place spot. When one of those can get clear from one another, they're likely to be in the picture as well.
I thought that as well, and Terry was making some pretty good headway all the way on the bottom and kind of staying out of the holes, and obviously you can never count Rodney out. So anybody, here in that 8, 7, 8, 9 spots to the front, I think still have a legitimate shot, and you never know. Don't count Dustin Sorensen out. He showed us last night he can come from deep in the field.
Yeah, still a lot of laps left in this one. 14 laps completed of 50. Not even halfway through. A lot has transpired here in the opening 14 circuits. We got 36 more to decide that.
So now it's Jake Tim on the inside of that first double file row. Ramirez choosing the top side of the speedway. It'll be interesting to see if Ramirez attempts to go to the extreme top side of turns 1 and 2, where it's been a little rough and tumble here early in this one. Tim will fire off from the inside of that first double file row. He'll get a crack at the 65 of Tyler Davis. Mullins and Blease now on that second double file row. Mullins is another guy that was fast last night. Hasn't really managed to find the momentum to move forward here this evening, but again, a long way to go for everybody in the field.
So here we go, set for the restart. 14 laps completed of 50. We're re-racked, restacked, and ready to rock coming off of turn number 4. Tyler Davis with control of the restart. Green flag in the air. We're back underway here for the finale of the 12th annual Texas Spring Nationals.
Derek Ramirez going to drop to the bottom of the speedway, tries to slide the racetrack, sees Tyler Davis there, thinks better of it. Davis gets a good drive off the top side of turn number 2. Now he'll work the bottom of 3 and 4. Ramirez to the middle, top part of the racetrack. Davis continues to lead.
Tyler Davis continuing to lead. Ramirez going to drop down to the inside, side by side for a moment with your leader, but Davis still steady out in front. He'll maintain the lead through turns 3 and 4. Ramirez still in second. Jake Tim in third. Tanner Mullins fourth. Jacob Blease beginning to fade a little bit. He's going to see heavy pressure out of Rodney Sanders. That battle for 5th through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, Sanders looked to the inside of the 21. Now he's under attack from the 75 at Terry Phillips. Phillips works to the bottom of 3 and 4. Caution flag waves once again. We've got a car sitting backwards at the bottom of turn 2.
Yeah, Landon Atkinson goes around. He was deep in the field there, not sure what caused the 18A to go spinning, but nonetheless, he's backed up against the berm there on the inside of turn 2, and that draws a caution here with 16 laps completed of 50. So again, not sure what caused the Little Falls, Minnesota racer to spin down in turns 1 and 2. Nonetheless, he'll have to tag to the back with 16 laps now completed. Only able to get a couple laps in there to the next caution. So not much really changed out in front of this one. Davis, Ramirez, and Tim still in the top 3. Tanner Mullins now by the 21 of Jacob Blease. Blease was seeing pressure out of the 20 of Sanders. We did say that just ahead of that caution. And Blease certainly had his hands full just before the yellow waved.
Yeah, absolutely. You got 2 of the heaviest hitters and most well-known names on the USMTS trail sitting right behind the 21 of Blease, so he's got his hands full just to stay in the top 5 right now. But Bryce, if you're Tyler Davis out in front of the field, on one hand, the cautions slow the pace of the race. It takes you out of your comfort zone and the momentum that you've developed, and it puts these guys right on your back bumper to give them another crack. But on the flip side of that coin, no traffic to deal with. Which would you prefer if you're Tyler Davis right now?
Man, I think as good as he's going, I'd just rather stay out in front and cruise, at least now until you got jammed up in traffic, because right now it looks like Ramirez or whoever's going to contest him is really going to have to throw something at it, because the 65 is just too consistent. You see somebody try to get a drive in on him, they're just not able to carry it off the way that he is.
Stroke your motor. So, getting word from your factory stock A feature event, Rodney White in car 38 Double D disqualified. So the win stripped from the 38 Double D of Rodney White in the factory stock A feature event. Trying to look at
Michael Smith going to go back to back. So there you have that one. This just in the newsroom. Now we're back to green. Here we go, back to green flag. We'll see if Derek Ramirez can challenge the 65 of Tyler Davis. Davis shakes him off for time being down the back straightaway through turns 3 and 4. Ramirez now going to venture to the top shelf. See if Ramirez finds something up there. Now he will drop back to the hub through turns 1 and 2. Ramirez just searching, like Pat Graham said, under that caution. It's been fun to watch him go top to bottom while Davis just continues to hit his marks in that 65.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, that's what's holding the 4R of Ramirez at bay. There's just not enough off the bottom of turn 2 at the moment for him to drive out in front of the 65. Every time he pulls up to the inside, Davis pulls away by 2, 3, 4 car lengths down the back straightaway to 3 and 4. Davis works the bottom side of the speedway, drifts up top. Now he's going to continue to lead, but Ramirez not giving up yet.
Boy, there's something pink to watch an eye on now. The 02 of Tanner Mullins is going after the 49 of Jake Tim. Don't count out Mullins. He'll work down to the inside of the 49 of Tim. He'll clear by for third. Here comes Tanner as well in the 02.
Tanner Mullins now finding something along the bottom side of the speedway. He said it earlier tonight. He felt the racetrack was more to his liking, the way that it was going to shape up here, and it's showing, maybe biding his time early. We're 20 laps in, 30 laps to go, and Tanner Mullins is on the move.
Yeah, Derek Ramirez got a few of those American racers up above the cushion that time, coming off of turn number 4, and Mullins is trying to make him pay the price. Can't quite strike just yet, but he's tightened up now on the 4R. We'll see if Ramirez can navigate the cushion a little bit better this time, and he does. Good race there for second. On back to 4th, going through turns 1 and 2.
Tyler Davis continues to lead out front. Mullins now hounding the 4R of Ramirez. Jake Tim still right there as well. So we got a 4-car breakaway at the front of the field. Now Terry Phillips running in the 5th spot. He's still got the 20 of Rodney Sanders racing to his outside. Problems for Jake Tim, a broken rear end on that race car. So that's going to take a very strong contender out of the field tonight. 3 cars racing for the lead at the front of the field. Yellow's out.
Yeah, caution's going to come out. Jake Tim just not quite far enough into the infield. Likely some debris on the front straightaway as well.
So this is going to set up here an interesting restart, Bryce. I apologize. I know you're getting ready to throw it down to Grap-Ham, but I'm going to something to think about. The 02 of Tanner Mullins, the 65 of Tyler Davis, both from the Wichita, Kansas area. Not a lot of love lost between the two. I'll guarantee you on this restart, Tanner Mullins, if he has anything for Tyler Davis, he's going to show it to him, and Tyler Davis is going to do everything he can to hold the 02 off. Pat Graham, great racing in front of the field. Tyler Davis so far managing to fend off every challenge for the 4R Ramirez. The 02 of Mullins, though, here he comes as well.
I would agree, and the 02 of Mullins has kind of found that little bit of groove or a little bit of moisture or traction off of turn 2 on the bottom, and he seems to be the only one using that out of that group of 3 or 4 up front. So, you know, that could prove a good spot for him to make the pass. Tough luck for Jake Tim. He was running, you know, right up there in that top 4 as well. It looked like a J-bar or Panhard mount or something to that effect, the side to side of the rear end. So, but no, Tyler Davis, like I said earlier, he keeps hitting his marks. He's in good shape, but he might have to start protecting that bottom off of 2.
Yeah, the bottom side of the racetrack, Derek Ramirez keeps working the bottom off of turn 2. Now Mullins to a stop at the bottom of 1 and 2 as well. Don't know what the issue is there. So Tanner Mullins pulling away under his own power. So Tanner Mullins slowly pacing the bottom side of the speedway. Believe he is going to spot back in 3rd once again. So Mullins may be pointing out some debris at the bottom side of turns 1 and 2, letting track officials know that there's some debris that needed to be cleaned up down there. Field going to reassemble behind them. Your top 5 will reset the field real quick. Tyler Davis from Hayesville, Kansas, in car 65 is your leader. The 4R of Derek Ramirez runs 2nd. Tanner Mullins 3rd. The 20 of Rodney Sanders in the 4th spot. Terry Phillips runs 5th. Dustin Sorensen has moved his way just outside the top 5 after again winning a B feature. Much like last night, Sorensen had to come out of a B feature in car number 19. Ended up winning the A feature event. He's moved up a handful of spots here this evening, so we'll have to keep an eye on car number 19 with that bright red Risco Industries points leader spoiler on the rear of the race car. Field going to tighten up down the back straightaway. Yellow lights are out. Bryce, bring us back to green.
Here we go, back to the green flag. Tyler Davis refires in this one. "23 laps completed of 50. Derek Ramirez going after the 65 of Tyler Davis. Tanner Mullins within reach now. The 02's looking good. Here as we work closer to the second half of this one. Nearly 3 wide now for the lead, working off of turn 2.
Tyler Davis starting to enter in corner 1, and the car's tightening up on him. You'll have to see if he makes an adjustment for that, as the race car trying to get out from underneath him, but saves it every time and manages to hold on to the lead so far. The 38T of Thornton is a problem. The top side of turn number 3, that's going to bring us back to a caution.
So under the caution, right at the midway point in this one. Halfway home. And we're under the yellow, man. Dylan Thornton, his Grant Young Hands Rookie of the Year contention, has not started off too great down here in the state of Texas, as he rolls to a stop now, I believe a flat on the 38T. And now we will go to work on sorting the lineup out. 25 laps completed, a 50.
Halfway home. Halfway to go. Are you a glass half full or half empty kind of guy?
I'm gonna go half full. We got a lot to enjoy here.
Well, if you're Tyler Davis, I think right now you're a glass half empty kind of guy, and it can't get empty any faster.
Yeah, man, this one becoming kind of caution-addled. You know, last night you could say racetrack creates a little bit of that. Tonight, man, this thing's racy and slick top to bottom. So, you know, they've got a good surface to race on. Of course, you can't help it when you got a flat or anything like that. But I'd like to see a good green flag run here. I'd like to see this thing get into traffic. That's what would be nice, especially on this wide, slick racetrack.
Yeah, traffic would definitely add a level of interesting to the event. Want to make a note of the 21 of Jacob Blease as well. A tough race for that gentleman continues, as he's now outside of the top 10 in car 21. So Blease unfortunately not going the right direction here this evening. Fellow front row starter Tyler Davis continues to pace the field, fending off all challenges so far. The 02 of Tanner Mullins, the 4 of Derek Ramirez were locked in a battle over the runner-up spot.
So somebody that is going the right direction. Jeff Dunn, a nice little tidbit there. 25th to 9th right now. Jason Hughes making the most of that provisional. Not sure if you had touched on that previously, but man, that's a pretty solid run up. 16 spots now with 25 laps to go. You know, halfway through, and there's still plenty of time.
I'll be very honest, hadn't honestly paid attention to the 12 of Jason Hughes. The battle at the front of the field has been so close. It's hard to look further back in the field. And
you do. There's a lot going on, and you're locked in on the leaders because you don't want to miss something there. But there's great racing to watch throughout the field, as always, at these USMTS shows. We'll see if Hughes or any others can get in the mix as well. As we go back to the green, how about 3 wide for the top spot? That kind of racing right there. That's why we've missed the march by Hughes. But out in front, Davis leads him around to turn number 4. 26 in, 24 to go, and Ramirez is still on the hunt of that 65.
Once again, the 65 pushes the nose, but he saves the car, gets a good run off the top side of turn number 2. He'll down to the bottom. He's going to protect Tanner Mullins, working underneath the 4R of Ramirez. Rodney Sanders in 4th, Terry Phillips 5th, and oh yeah, there's Jason Hughes.
Yeah, Jason Hughes has picked up a couple more spots into the 7th place spot. He's going to try to blow by Terry Phillips as well. He had a good drive up to the outside of the 75. Off of turn number 4, though, Tyler Davis stretching the lead out just a bit there. 0.711 seconds over Derek Ramirez. And Davis has got that thing hooked up here as we begin to approach lap number 30. 29 in, this time by.
The 02 of Tanner Mullins continuing to work underneath the 4R of Ramirez. Those two battling for the runner-up position. Jason Hughes has worked his way into the top 5 now. He's trying to reel in the 20 of Rodney Sanders. Sanders trying to reel in your top 3 as Tyler Davis continues to click off laps. Every lap that goes by, he inches closer to USMTS victory lane.
20 laps remain. Ramirez trying to apply the pressure. Here comes Mullins as well. Back to a more distant 4th. It's Rodney Sanders. Jason Hughes again into the top 5 after having to take a provisional here tonight. Ramirez chips away at it this time. Will he throw the slider into turns 1 and 2? He's going to drive deep to the inside of the 65 of Tyler Davis. Davis back up around the outside, maintains the lead. Man, we got a good one going here at Rocket Raceway Park. Look out, Ramirez overdrives a bit at the top of the racetrack. That thing gets majorly tight. He gathers the car in, but not after losing the second place spot to the 0-2 of Tanner Mullins.
Jason Hughes just clipped the whiskers on the 20 of Rodney Sanders to drive into the 4th spot. Hughes now coming after the 4R Ramirez after he tripped up the last circuit around the turns 3 and 4 into the racetrack. Tyler Davis now with a slight bit of breathing room, but he's got fellow Wichita, Kansas racer Tanner Mullins in the 0-2 behind him, looking to chase him down. And again, worth noting, it's a friendly rivalry, but no love lost between the 65 and the 0-2. You know Tyler Davis would love to look back and know that he beat the 0-2 tonight.
Yeah, that's certainly the case. 15 laps to go this time around. Back of the pack also within sight now of your leader, so that could play a factor in this one as well. Tyler Davis just hitting his marks out in front, a little over a second lead, 1.293 seconds over Tanner Mullins that time. Derek Ramirez back in that 3rd place spot. Jason Hughes in 4th. Rodney Sanders, that is the top 5. 36 in and 14 to go.
Well, here you go, Bryce. You wanted lap traffic. Chris Clark, the man to go a lap down first. Tyler Davis makes quick work of the 8C, hits the bottom side of turns 3 and 4. Has a little bit more distance before he'll reach the back of the field. He's got the 7 of Dawson, the 19 SB of Lance Murray racing side by side, just a straightaway in front of them as they reel into turn number 3.
Off of turn number 4, a dozen laps remain, this time by Tyler Davis with a 1.083 second lead over Tanner Mullins. Derek Ramirez in the 3rd position. Jason Hughes, Rodney Sanders, that is still the top 5 of this one. Terry Phillips rides in 6th. 7th is Dustin Sorensen. 8th, Darren Fuquay. 9th, Tyler Wolf. So Tyler Wolf back up into the 9th place spot as well as Lucas Schott rounds out your top 10.
Jason Hughes isn't done. He's now caught the 4R of Derek Ramirez. He'll look to the inside into turns 3 and 4. So Ramirez going to go another spot down after he looked like he was trying to battle for the lead early in this one. Hughes works to the inside once again. Ramirez better into turn 1. Tyler Davis has caught lap traffic. It's getting ready to get good at the front of the field.
Boy, Chris Dawson's going to take the line away from the 65 of Tyler Davis. That lapped car is going to interfere in this one, and now Mullins is to the inside of the 65. Davis trying to work the lap traffic. Here comes Mullins to his back bumper, now down to the inside. Side by side for the lead. Davis will shut the door off into turns 3 and 4. He'll slide the lapped car. Oh, he'll clear right across the nose of the 7X as we work through lap traffic with now 8 laps to go.
I'm just telling you right now, the 65 of Tyler Davis is inside that race car, sawing at the wheel like it's his life on the line. Works the bottom side of turns 3 and 4, pulls up to the backside of Lance Murray. Murray and the next man in the crosshairs to go a lap down. Both Tyler Davis and Mullins bouncing through turns 1 and 2. Tyler Davis will streak away down the back straightaway into 3 and 4.
Yeah, once Davis was able to clear by Chris Dawson and kind of settle down here in lap traffic, he was able to pull back away a little bit. Just as I say that, he bobbled on exit turn number 4. Tanner Mullins is giddy up that time through turns 1 and 2. That car really got out from underneath him as turns 1 and 2 begins to peel up on that top side like it did last night. So track conditions changing just a bit in the late stages of this one as Darren Fuquay has pointed the wrong direction down the back straightaway.
So Darren Fuquay going to bring the field back to a caution flag with 5 laps to go. We're going to set up a 5-lap dash to the finish. Tyler Davis going to have to hold off the 0-2 of Tanner Mullins. The 4R of Ramirez was reeling those guys back in. And oh yeah, Jason Hughes.
Pat Graham, let's break this one down for a little bit. We've got a 5-lap shootout coming here. Tyler Davis had worked through lap traffic. He had a ton of trouble with that lapped car, but once he was able to get by Dawson, he was really able to settle down. But Tanner Mullins, Derek Ramirez, and now Jason Hughes all right there ready to strike.
Yeah, they are. And like you say, that a couple of the lap cars did give him a lot of trouble, but once he got back into his rhythm, so I don't know. You know, I hate to say one way or the other is better because yellows are always tough when you're out front. And I would say, you know, even before that last caution, I was watching Jason Hughes make some moves, and this could be interesting for him because he's restarting on the outside, and he's been really quick up there. So we'll have to see. I think it's going to be critical, that restart and into turn 1. If Tyler Davis can hit his marks and get off of turn 2 clean, I think he's in good shape. But that's saying a lot, and that's a lot of pressure. So we'll see how it shakes out.
So here we go, perhaps the most important restart of the race getting set to come up. Tyler Davis will have control of the restart. Tanner Mullins elects to go to the outside. That sends Ramirez to the inside of row number 2. Jason Hughes takes the outside line as well. Like Pat said, he's been making some hay up there as well. So going to be a very interesting restart with 45 in, 5 to go, 10 grand in the balance of this one. Eric, we got a shootout to the finish coming up.
Nerves are at an all-time high behind the wheel of the 65. Let's see if he can keep them calm. As they take the green flag, he rolls back into turns 1 and 2. One of the best things that can happen is for the 4R Derek Ramirez and the 0-2 of Mullins to stay side by side, so neither one of them can run a clean line, and 65 can streak away. Green flag in the air.
Here we go, back to the green flag. See who makes the move on the restart. Ramirez will roll back to the inside. Mullins follows along the top shelf of the racetrack. Here comes Jason Hughes as well with a good run. 4 to go this time by off of turn 4.
Tyler Davis continues to lead, but the 4R Ramirez is right there. Mullins right behind him, pounding the top side of the cushion. Mullins bounces through the ruts. It gets him tight. Now we got problems. The 4W of Wolf is around. Caution flag going to fly once again.
So, Pat, we kind of saw a sample perhaps for what we're getting ready to see on this restart. It looked like Tyler Davis really handled that restart and the pressure well.
He did, and Tanner Mullins he kind of laid back and then moved up top a little bit higher on the restart and tried to get a run. He had a good run, but he was right up under the bumper at Tyler Davis. So I'm curious to see when he does this again, if he can cross over into turn 1, he might make it interesting. But so far, so good for Tyler Davis, and we'll see how he does from there. Tough break for Tyler Wolf. Worked his way quite a ways back up into the field after being, sent to the rear. So, but some great racing up front. So we're all hoping to watch these last few laps, and I wouldn't want to guess what's going to happen.
I'm going to put you behind the wheel to 12 here a moment. How does Jason Hughes position himself to make a move in this one?
Kind of the same thing as Tanner Mullins is doing. Just go where they're not. I mean, that's easy to say, but with all that moisture in the top of 1 and 2, if you can hit the mark and hit the character just right and turn down, you can definitely pass that guy off of 2 if he's kind of carrying the speed around the top. So that's what they're going to try to do. Try to diamond that thing, get turned down, and try to beat Tyler Davis off the bottom off of turn 2.
So there we go. We'll see how it plays out with 4 laps to go. Tyler Davis trying to hang on for his first career USMTS victory. Derek Ramirez on the inside for this restart. Ramirez, a 5-time winner last season, on his way to his first USMTS National Championship. Won 2 here in the state of Texas at RPM Speedway in Crandall. He lines up on the inside. Of course, Tanner Mullins, a 2-time victor last season, 6 overall in his career, as Davis tries to pick up number 1. 4 laps away from it here in Petty, Texas. And the caution lights have gone down. A lot to watch on this restart. Ramirez and Mullins on row number 2. Jason Hughes has advanced 21 spots after a provisional start here this evening into the 4th place spot. Back to green off of turn 4.
Good restart for Tyler Davis, about a half a car length over the Mullins, and Ramirez into turns 1 and 2. They'll streak away once again at the top. Here comes Jason Hughes. Hughes will thread the needle between Ramirez and Mullins. He's now up to 3rd. Davis pulling away off of turn 4.
Jason Hughes can taste it right now as well. He'll roll to the outside of the 4R. Derek Ramirez upsets the car on the cushion. Back on the throttle, though. Settles back into that 3rd place spot down the back straightaway. Side by side there with Ramirez, as Davis is smooth as silk out in front of this one. Just hitting his marks out in front of your field with just 2 laps to go.
Jason Hughes coming after the 65 of Davis as he pulls away from the 4R of Ramirez. It's going to come down to Tyler Davis and Jason Hughes, and we've got problems in turns 1 and 2.
So out comes the caution flag. Chris Dawson involved. I believe Lance Maury may have been as well, as he heads pit side. but Chris Dawson, the car stopped on the racetrack to draw the caution. Here we go, Pat. 2-lap shootout coming up. Jason Hughes has now got one more row to his favor. How does this one play out here with 2 to go?
Well, I hate to keep saying a broken record, but Jason's been doing that this whole race. Sometimes he doesn't hit it right, but when he does, he makes up a ton of ground on the top. And like last time you saw in the restart, he lost a couple spots, but it didn't take him long to get those back and then make it really interesting. So we're back to that same scenario. Tyler Davis hits his marks perfectly. If Jason Hughes can't get turned under him, he's not going to be able to get by him, but it's going to be fun to watch.
So here we go. Caution lights are going to go down. We were set to see the white flag wave. Dawson was stopped at the top side of turn 1. That reels us back to a 2-lap shootout to finish it off here on night number 2 of the 12th annual Texas Spring Nationals. So here we go. Lights are out. Mullins gets situated in line there, and the caution lights go down. Tyler Davis ready to bring us back up to speed. A 2-lap shootout here in Petty, Texas. Off into 3 out of turn number 4. We are back green. Jason Hughes trying to hit the marks through the middle, just like Pat talked about. Works down to the inside, 3 wide for the lead, working off at 2 and down the back straightaway. Davis protects down to the inside. Jason Hughes goes upstairs. White flag to the air and 1 lap to go.
Jason Hughes had a head of steam this time into turns 1 and 2. Davis, though, running the same line. Hughes chops the top of 1 and 2. Davis going to streak away for the final time through turns 3 and 4. Tyler Davis, tonight is your night. Tonight, Tyler Davis, you are a USMTS winner.
What a finish to that one. Jason Hughes crosses in second. Derek Ramirez third. Rodney Sanders fourth. Terry Phillips fifth. Tanner Mullins, Darren Fuqua, Carlos Amata Jr., Dustin Sorensen, and Dan Ebert, your top 10 finishers here tonight as the fireworks go off here at the Rocket Raceway Park. A first-time USMTS winner here on night number 2 of the season. Tyler Davis, he takes that Bills-built race car, Gerber Collision and Glass, Midwest Wrap Company, Glassman, BSB Manufacturing, and FOE Racing, number 65 to USMTS Victory Lane. Pat Graham will wait what I can assure you will be an elated Tyler Davis down in USMTS Victory Lane. Get him cleared across the scales. They'll get the check ready. All the accolades in Victory Lane as he whips that 65 around. And with that, we will send it down to Pat Graham, who's going to be with Tyler Davis in USMTS Victory Lane.
I think he's going to be pretty excited, folks. He's coming in hot, as they would say. What a race. We're going to let him get the helmet off. Getting all the goodies down here in the USMTS Victory Lane. Let him catch his breath, get that helmet off, get the sign up.
You in neutral? Yeah. Tell me when, Josh. Okay. Are we good? We're good.
Well, folks, let's get ready for this one. We got the car in place now, too. Tyler is climbing out. Tyler Davis, let's give it up for him. We need a new flag, folks. Todd Staley, we need a new flag down here. Tyler. We talked about it earlier. I said, what's it going to take for me to interview you again? You made her down here.
That ain't no shit. I can't tell you guys how much diesel fuel I've wasted going up and down these roads and coming home short every time with an excuse or faded late or whatever. To be honest, I'm starting to doubt if I should quit doing this shit. So, Man, it's unbelievable. I got to give a big shout out to my wife and daughter at home, J.R. Sartain. He basically let me start my own race team again. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. I couldn't afford to come here. So there's so many people that's given so much for me to even be able to come out on these roads. And it dates back to people that first started helping me, you know. I don't even know what to say.
Let's take it back a little bit. You know, about midway, you're kind of cruising, everything looks good and that, and then the yellows start happening. You had to be thinking, hey, did you want the yellow and get out of lap traffic, or were you pretty comfortable there once you kind of cleared a few cars?
No, I wanted the lap cars. Every time the yellow came out, I thought, man, here comes the slide job. And I finally figured out how to get to the hole and maintain it. And I just was thinking, man, we're probably only 30 in. We're 30 in. I seen that white flag, and I couldn't believe it, you know. I think it was Jason Hughes that rolled up beside me there, and he's taught me a lot. He has built a great race car, and I ran him for a long time, so I got to give a big thanks to him, his whole crew. Everybody's taught me a lot of how to race out here on the road.
Yeah, and obviously you got a rearview mirror, but him and Derek Ramirez and Tanner Mullins were all kind of moving around and searching, and you know how that is. You're out front. You don't know exactly where they're at. You can go by sound and you can go by feel, but you kept hitting your marks, and you know what? It's a pretty great feeling down here. Now you had a second or two to think about it. Can you tell us who helps you get up and down the road? And I know you talked about family and that, but let us know on a few of your sponsors.
I'm trying to gather myself here. FOE Racing, they're the ones that run the team. I drive for them. Gerber Collision and Glass, the Glass Man, Auto Tech Service. Dick Sweat at ASI Race Engines, builds a heck of a motor. Ralphie, he does my shocks. He's been with me for a long time, and it's really cool for him to be here. Dave Guerrero, he's done a lot for me. I'm very appreciative of what he's done. He still continues to help us. So I'm sure there's a lot of people. My dad comes down and tunes the motor up all the time. And I really wish my wife and daughter could be here. We got a baby boy due any day, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. My daughter, she's FaceTimed me probably 20 times this week and telling me how much she misses me. So I'm ready to go home. I'm probably going to drive all the way home tonight.
Well, you got 10,000 reasons to go home, too. Give it up for Tyler Davis.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pat Graham, and a big congratulations once again to Tyler Davis. First career USMTS victory here on night number 2 of the 2022 racing season. Always great to see down in USMTS Victory Lane as we will get set for the next feature tonight. We got 2 more features left on the program here for the Saturday night finale of the 12th Annual Texas Spring Nationals. Douglas Distributing USRA stock cars up next here this evening. Bonham, Texas racer Shelby Williams will bring us the green here tonight, the 82. He starts alongside Chris Webb in the 858 out of Hendricks, Oklahoma.
On the inside of row number 2 from Bells, Texas, the 21P is Paul Peters, and to his outside from Kendall Mills, Texas, the 2R is Michael Risky.
Back to row number 3, last night's feature winner on a last lap pass at Little Rock, Arkansas, the 3 of Arlen Stewart. And to Arlen's outside, we'll find James McMillan, the 8M out of Warrensburg, Missouri.
On the inside of row number 4 from Aurora, Missouri, the number 2, that's Zeb Keeper, and to his outside from Lubbock, Texas, the number 47 is Trey Melton.
Row number 5 finds Dwayne Pritchett on the inside. He's at a Combine, Texas in the 22, and his outside, J.D. Jackson out of Shoto, Oklahoma in the 110.
Your 6th and final row for tonight's Douglas Distributing USRA Stock Car A feature event from Pontoonville, Texas. Number 13 is John Winters, and to his outside from Sherman, Texas, the 129. That's Matt Risky.
So a 16-lap, $600 to win. Douglas Distributing USRA Stock Car A main coming up next. Costin & Son Ready Mix USRA Limited Mods will be the final feature of the night. So 2 more races remain here in Petty, Texas. Get a couple more shout-outs in here before this stock car A main as well. Darren Bennett watching USMTS tonight from Kansas City. He's getting the Lakeside Speedway ready for racing action coming up April 22nd, I believe, is their season opener. Yeah, and like we mentioned there, before the races as well, a huge loss for the Lakeside Speedway community. Donna Mars passed away earlier this week unexpectedly, so we're certainly thinking about them as they go forward, but happy to have Darren tuning in here tonight on Racing Dirt TV from Kansas City. Is that Mike Lacey tuned in as well tonight? Yeah, he's tweeted his seat. That was 3 hours ago, but happy to have Mike Lacey tuned in, Mike and Lisa. Ryan Bergeson tuned in tonight. He made a comment there on the Tyler Davis victory lane. He said that made him a big fan right there, that victory lane did. So happy to have Berg tuned in tonight. We talked about his partner, Brian Denikus, there at the Hamilton County Speedway in Webster City, Iowa.
Big breath out now. We got to finish 2 more races here this evening after an exciting USMTS Modified A feature event. Again, Tyler Davis picking up his first ever career USMTS A feature victory, and all I can say is I was glad I was here to see it.
Yeah, no, absolutely great to see that for the 65 of Tyler Davis. Hearing the 4R of Derek Ramirez was disqualified now, underweight. At the center of controversy there with Tyler Wolf as well. Then he's light at the scales, man. It has been a wild night for the 4R of Derek Ramirez, but hearing he has been disqualified following post-race tech inspection.
Yeah, rough weekend for the 4R of Derek Ramirez.
So here we go. Caution lights have gone down. Shelby Williams, Chris Webb on row number 1. And out comes the green flag. Stock car showtime here in Petty, Texas. This should be a good one as well. Shelby Williams rolling out in front of your field down the back straightaway. Paul Peters going to work on the inside of Chris Webb. Good racing there. Here's we complete lap number 1.
And the 82 of Shelby Williams out front by about 3 to 4 car lengths. Nearly 3 wide behind him for the runner-up spot. It continues to be the 858 of Chris Webb running in second. The 21P of Paul Peters in third. Then it's McMillan. We saw him last night using the extreme top side of the racetrack, doing it again here tonight. But we got problems in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, John Winters goes around at the bottom side of turn 1, and that brings us under the caution flag. So out comes the yellow here. Just 1 lap completed, it looks like, for the Douglas Distributing USRA stock cars.
So again, Shelby Williams out in front of the field. The 858 is Chris Webb in second. Paul Peters is third. James McMillan's fourth, and the 2R of Michael Risky rounds out your top 5. Arlen Stewart sixth, and then it's going to be the 110J of J.D. Jackson seventh. Rest of the field assembles from there. Lights are out down the back straightaway. Your USRA Stock Car A feature about ready to come back to green.
So here we go, back to the green flag. Shelby Williams, 82 out in front of this one. Chris Webb jumps up into the second place spot. James McMillan quickly into third. Sorting it out for the rest of the field. Looks like Arlen Stewart with some issues in car 3, last night's feature winner, off the pace. As the field rumbles off of turn number 4, we'll see if Arlen's able to stay out there. So far he is, but he is certainly well off the pace in that 3 as Shelby Williams continues to set sail out in front of your field in the 82.
Williams brings the field off of turn 4 down the front straightaway. Now we got a problem. Spinner, it's the 129. That's Matt Risky. He's sitting at the bottom side of turn number 4. So we'll come back to a caution flag once again.
So hearing the 2 of Zeb Keeper is going to be credited with that caution. You can see the nose piece pretty mashed in. Apparently that was from contact on the 129 of Matt Risky. So the 2 of Zeb Keeper is going to be sent to the tail.
So try to get everybody restacked in their proper running positions. We've got 3 laps down of 16 for your USRA Stock Car A feature event. Again, it's Chris Webb in the 858 out front. Very unique race car as well. Good looking race car there. That's, excuse me, I was one car down the lineup there. The 82 is Shelby Williams.
So here we go. Green flag drops. We're back underway. Douglas Distributing USRA Stock Car A main here from the Rocket Raceway Park. Shelby Williams dominated the opening 3 circuits. This one, of course, James McMillan started 6th on the grid. He's into 3rd, looking for 2nd. So McMillan may have something to say about the outcome of this one before it's all said and done as he works to the outside of the 858 of Webb. Those two side by side for the runner-up position. Still door-to-door working off a turn 4, or excuse me, turn 2.
McMillan into the runner-up spot now. Again, running that top line, same line he used to just about win last night's A feature event. Coming after the 82 of Shelby Williams. The distance is closing between your top 2. Chris Webb still continues to work in the 3rd spot. Then it's the 2R Michael Risky, the 110J of J.D. Jackson runs in 5th. We got him 3 wide for 6th as the field files off at turn number 4.
James McMillan making the trip down from Warrensburg, Missouri, the runner-up last night after leading several laps. Arlen Stewart was able to pass him on the final circuit last night. Certainly wants to go back to Warrensburg with a feature win as he goes to work along the top side of the racetrack. Shelby Williams, though, setting a smooth pace out in front in the 82.
So Shelby Williams has moved a lane off of the bottom of the speedway, found a little bit more speed as he's managed to stop the advance of the 8 of McMillan. McMillan stagnant at about 2 car lengths back from the 82 right now. Side by side for the 4th spot. That's between the 2R of Risky, the 110 of J.D. Jackson. Jackson will take it at the line. The last time by as those 2 work off at turn number 2.
J.D. Jackson struggled up until this point, putting together a pretty good run now into the 4th place spot. Started 5th row on the outside, so we'll see if Jackson has something to contend with the 858 of Chris Webb and maybe even the top 2 as he tries to make his moves forward. Michael Risky right there with him as well. Good 3-car race for 3rd as Shelby Williams continues to roll the bottom off of turn 4.
Shelby Williams still solidly in control of this one. He'll rifle back down into turns 1 and 2. McMillan tight off the top side of the racetrack now at the exit of turn 2. Still about a car length and a half behind the 82. Again, still waging war for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th spot. Jackson and Risky have both pulled up to the backside of Chris Webb. That's a 3-car race back into turns 1 and 2.
So battle there for 3rd continues. Meanwhile, McMillan's beginning to get the 8M wound up along the top side of the Rocket Raceway Park. We'll have a race for the lead shortly in this one. 12 in, 4 to go. The lap's clicking away, and now this one's getting good. Oh, door's going to shut to the outside for McMillan. He'll get crowded along the top side of the racetrack for a moment.
Yeah, you got to wonder if McMillan maybe didn't appreciate that from the 82 of Shelby Williams. If he can get back to the bumper, is he going to get rough with Williams as well? Williams opens up the door off of 4, though, as he was bouncing through some ruts. McMillan going to slide him. Williams will give a honk of the horn, and we got contact off of turn 2.
I was going to say McMillan wasn't really going to have to there for a while, but then Williams got back to the back bumper of the 8M there. Those two going to race side by side, working off of turn number 4. Good race for the lead in this one with 2 to go.
Williams and McMillan battling tooth and nail over the lead here late in this one. McMillan looks like he tapped the 82 there off of turn number 2 as they're working around to the white flag. McMillan going to drop it off the bottom side of turn number 4. Williams continues to work the top. Just 1 lap to go.
Boy, this one's setting up to be a good finish. McMillan will follow Williams to the high side. He upsets the car, though, along the cushion. We'll see what happens in the final 2 turns of this one. McMillan going to drive deep, and the caution's going to come out.
Caution on the speedway. Looks like we've got the 2 of Risky over at the top side of turn number 4. So Michael Risky with problems.
So, Pat, highly critical restarts becoming a theme of the entire night here. Let's see how the 82 and the 8 play it. Those two seem to be the class of the field, but J.D. Jackson, he's worked his way into the 3rd place spot as well.
I would agree. And the two guys up front, they've been playing semi-nice, but there's been a little bit of back and forth and a little bit of bumping and banging. So you're right. He could be in the catbird seat if those two get together. And hey, how else can we draw it up? Another shootout for the feature win. So it's going to be a fun one to see all the way to the finish.
Semi-nice may have been a semi-nice way to explain that, Pat.
I tried. I tried.
Just when the tension is an all-time high, you got to have a little fun.
That's right. You can feel the tension in the air right now. This stock car A main coming down to the wire. Daniel McMillan, man, he wants to be the one doing the snooker tonight, man. He got passed on the last lap here last evening to come up just short. J.D. Jackson, like I said, night and day difference from the rest of his weekend into this feature as he's worked up into the third position. Chris Webb dropping back into fourth. As we'll try to get the two cleared from the top side of turn number 4. Once we do that, we will be good to go back to green flag racing.
So while we're waiting for the field to come back to green here, back to the USMTS A feature event this evening, Tyler Davis picking up his first A feature win of his career, and 10,000 reasons to smile tonight on his way back home to the Wichita, Kansas area. And you think he might take the wife and kid out to dinner tomorrow, maybe eat a steak or two?
That's what I would do. Yeah.
I mean, you would certainly hope so.
Whatever form of celebration that they need to go with, they certainly need to go soak that one in. And when will that one actually set in, right? You know, those first USMTS wins, especially the grind that he's really gone through. You know, he jumped in at the toughest time, arguably, to race in USMTS Modifieds as things continue to get elevated. Of course, the competition at an all-time high. So, you know, that one worth even a little bit more perhaps than other first-time winners.
Well, and for Tyler Davis, too, to see the success that, you know, his counterpart out of the Wichita, Kansas area, the 02 Tanner Mullins, has had. You know, him and Mullins have raced together for a long, long time, a lot longer than they've both been on the USMTS trail, and it's kind of been a little bit of a thorn in Tyler's side. He wanted to prove that he's just as good as the 02 Tanner Mullins, and certainly got it done tonight.
Absolutely did. Still working to get Risky cleared from the top side of turn 4. That's Michael Risky in the 2R machine, the Caddo Mills Texas racer. They get him towed down to the infield. Shout out to Whitaker's Towing, great marketing partner here at the Rocket Raceway Park. They've been pretty busy this weekend and have most part had a pretty expeditious cleanup, so appreciate them for their services here this weekend and what they will be doing all season long here at the Rocket Raceway Park as well. So here we go. Field forms up behind the 82 of Shelby Williams. Just a couple of laps to go.
So field is going to tighten up down the back straightaway. Looks like we have 9 cars remaining. For the final portion of this A feature event, we're going to have a dash to the finish here. Shelby Williams with a good restart. McMillan fires off just to the inside. The 110 of J.D. Jackson field rifles into turns 1 and 2.
So back to the green flag in this one. Shelby Williams had a great restart in the 82. J.D. Jackson's going to jump up into the second place spot down the back straightaway. McMillan comes back at him, though. Those two in close quarters racing, working off of turn number 4. White flag in the air and 1 lap to go.
And McMillan mixing it up with quite a few guys tonight. Him and Jackson with contact down the front straightaway in turns 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Shelby Williams is streaked away from the front of the field. He'll come off of turn number 4 to the checkered flag. Shelby Williams, your winner here tonight for your Douglas Distributing USRA stock cars.
Yeah, frustration may have got the best of Daniel McMillan there coming to the checkers. He gave J.D. Jackson a pretty good shot in the shorts, but I think he was worse off for it there. And hate to see that weekend come to a close like that after some great racing all weekend long. But nonetheless, Shelby Williams is going to get it done here tonight. The 82 started on the front row. Did what it took to hang on to pick up tonight's Douglas Distributing USRA Stock Car A main.
Letting him get that hat on, getting ready to climb out. Ladies and gentlemen, Shelby Williams, your feature winner. Shelby, come around here. Talk me through that last restart. You had to get up on the wheel and move up to the top and kind of get her from there.
Yeah, last night was pretty wild in 1 and 2, and I've got my car set up for dry, and it don't like that, as y'all can see. So I kind of stayed on the bottom as long as I could, and I seen the nose out there, so I knew I had to move up. So I just went up there and had to protect.
I watched last night. You had a couple deals, like you said. 1 and 2, you bicycled it. Ended up in another deal on the backstretch, kind of bicycled it. Neither one really your deal. The track a little bit, the deal on the backstretch you couldn't avoid. Tonight's a little better feeling, huh?
Yeah, last night we tore up a whole lot of stuff, brakes, everything on the right side, shocks, and today we tried it, and the left rear shock was bad, so we found that and we changed it, so it was a pretty good night.
Shelby, tell us who helps you get up and down the road and make this happen.
I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, my girlfriend, Jeremy Doole and Larry Osborne. They come up to the shop all day and help me work on it when they could be doing something else. Stealth Oil Well Services, Extreme Wood Care with Mark and Christine Roberts, and just everybody comes out and supports us.
There you have it, your feature, stock car winner, Shelby Williams. Give it up for him.
So set and ready to go for the final A feature of the evening. Your Costin & Son Ready Mix USRA Limited Modifieds. Going to go 20 times around, 24 cars in the starting lineup. It's going to look like this on the pole from Alma, Arkansas. Number 13, that's Lonnie Robbins Jr. And his outside from Greenville, Texas, the 20D, that's Rowdy Day.
Row 2 to the inside, Muskogee, Oklahoma's Dalton Ragsdale, the 22. He starts third and is outside the 22M. That is Blake Beggs out of Terrell, Texas.
Inside of row 3 from Wolf City, Texas, the V8, that's Robert Vetter. And to his outside from Greensville, Texas, the 23M is Jimmy Day.
Row 4 to the inside, the 0, that's Court Morgan out of Muskogee, Oklahoma. To his outside from Dallas, it's going to be the 2JT of Justin Vaughn.
On the inside of row number 5 from Tulsa, Oklahoma, the 6P, that's John Potter. And to his outside from Walters, Oklahoma, the G2G is Cody McDowell.
Josh Knoyer is going to start 6th row on the inside, the 41 out of Wichita Falls, Texas. And to the outside of Knoyer, it is Cody Bland, the 21B, racing out of Lone Oak, Texas.
On the inside of row number 7 from Kaufman, Texas, the number 31, that's Mason Martin. To his outside from Archille, Oklahoma, the 109, that's Trent Gibby.
Back to row number 8 out of Fredericksburg, Texas, we'll find Bryce Beard in the 2B. To his outside, it's Tough Forrester racing out of Royce City, Texas in the 01.
On the inside of row number 9 from Hayesville, Texas, the number C88, that's Carson Bradley. To his outside from Sulphur Springs, Texas, the 10T is Chad Ross.
Joe Findling starts 10th row on the inside, the 76 out of Forney, Texas, and his outside, it's Tim Kalanch out of Quinlan, Texas in the 21P.
Inside of row number 11 from Ivanhoe, Texas, the 26J is Shannon Hartline. To his outside from Springdale, Arkansas, the 53H is Ty Hollingsworth.
Final 2 starters of this one, the 8A of Randy Janway out of Birthright, Texas, alongside Matt Russ, the 21R. He's out of Farmersville, Texas. Your 24 starters for 20 laps in tonight's Costin & Son Ready Mix USRA Limited Mod A main. $600 to win.
Interesting note, Kelly McDowell chiming in earlier this evening. Cody McDowell in the G2G Limited Modified. It's his birthday this evening, so we'll have to keep an eye on him. Maybe he can pick off a win here on his birthday.
Looking now, front row looks a little bit different than what we thought here. Robert Vetter and Court Morgan, I believe we must have the pre-redraw lineup there or something. So nonetheless, we'll be able to fire them up. Those top 8 still the same, just no particular order there. But we're going to go 3 wide out in front of your field. But
big problems on the back straightaway.
Oh boy, got them stacked up down the back straightaway here.
Hard to tell who all is involved. Looks like one of them may be the 8A.
Looks like maybe the 53H of Hollingsworth. I believe the car pointed toward the infield, that black and yellow 53H, as Janway gets his car turned back around. So, Pat, one car still stopped there on the back straightaway. Can you tell what's going on there with the 53H?
Yeah, I think he's got some more damage. Either J-bar, something in the rear end's broke. I can't tell from here exactly, but either paint bar or something on that way. He's dead in the water, so I think he's going to have to be towed off. He's got his helmet off. The rest, I hate to say that, but the rest, I think it just got tangled up and just nowhere to go with that many cars all racing for the same spot. But yeah, he's going to be put on the hook here and taken back to the pits.
Thank you very much, Pat. Again, nice job all night long for Pat Graham, the infield reporter here from Rocket Raceway Park. We'll have him back on the crew at the end of the month as well, so looking forward to that.
So track official still trying to get the 53 of Hollingsworth some assistance off the backside of the racetrack. Phil continues to pace around the Rocket Raceway Park. Again, the final A feature of the evening. I was thinking the same thing. Been a long couple of nights here, full of definitely some very exciting moments.
Man, a lot has happened, right? This place, you know, that's if you want to conclude anything, put a summation on anything, man, this place has an absolute bright future at Petty, Texas Rocket Raceway Park. Appreciate all the race fans for coming out. We hope you guys are able to support this great weekly track all season long. They kick off the regular point season here next week with the KR Cup and the Rocket Challenge. The USRA Modifieds back in action again. Come out, bring somebody new with you. It's only getting better from here, too. I mean, they're just going to continue to find ways to improve this, continue to increase the entertainment value, and this is going to be a top-notch facility in the state of Texas, like everybody's pretty much formed a consensus on this weekend.
Well, and you know, the main ingredient to that is the racetrack itself, right? And at one point, I think this racetrack did go further out in the turns 3 and 4 side, right up against the wall that's out there now, and you know, brought it in a little bit. They've reshaped it, they've reworked it. They still have a little bit more work they want to do, but man, it races great.
It certainly does. Here we go. Take number 2, Robert Vetter and Court Morgan on row number 1. That's how they'll stack up. Last night's feature winner, Rowdy Day, he's starting second row on the inside. As we get back to green flag racing here in the Costin and Son Ready Mix USRA Limited Mod A main.
Good start for Robert Vetter off the bottom side of turn number 2. He drives out in front of the 0 of Morgan. Dalton Ragsdale running through the middle. They're nearly 3 and 4 wide off of turn number 4.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4 wide action throughout the field in this one. Vetter still leading out in front. Court Morgan in that second place spot. And now here comes Rowdy Day. Day going to go after him. Ragsdale's down to his inside in the 22. Side by side there. Some great racing out in front as we're 2 by 2 in the top 4.
Court Morgan taking the Jason Hughes line through turns 1 and 2, bouncing that 0 car along the top side of the speedway. He's trying to come after the lead, though, as Vetter continues to hold it down on the bottom side of the racetrack, but Morgan's got her wound up top.
Yeah, great racing between those two. Meanwhile, Rowdy Day's bouncing through the ruts as well along the top side of turns 1 and 2. He sits in third. Fourth is Dalton Ragsdale. Blake Beggs, he is back in the 5th position. Justin Vaughn just outside of those top 5 as John Potter tries to make his way forward. He's in the 7th place spot. Meanwhile, Court Morgan's, he's got a left rear flat down the back straightaway, so left rear flat on the 0 of Morgan. We'll keep an eye on that as so far we are still green.
Wonder if maybe knocked the tire off of the bead, bouncing through the ruts the last handful of laps, but certainly problems on that 0 car as he'll pull it to the infield. Will stay green. That hands the lead over to last night's A feature winner, the 20D of Rowdy Day. He'll lead the field off of turn number 4 this time. 6 down, 14 to go.
Oh, Justin Vaughn goes around and he gets kerpowed down in turn number 3. Not sure who it was that slid into the 2JT, but nonetheless pretty heavy contact there. The third car to come in able to spin to avoid there. That was the 76 of Findling. He's able to drive away. Looks like Tim Claunch, maybe the other car involved as a 2JT if Justin Vaughn was going around at the bottom side of turn 3.
Was it a kerpow or a kablam?
Kerpow.
Okay.
If you listen close enough, you could hear it.
All right. Well,
Kerpow.
Kerpow. All right. Learned a new racing term tonight. You know, you always got to learn something new every time you're at the racetrack, too.
Not a cupow, not to be confused with cupow. It's kerpow.
I'm thinking Kapow is probably
and it was probably
somewhere.
If you were close enough to the wreck, it was probably followed up with some 4-letter word as well.
Or a few.
A series of 4-letter words.
Been there, done that. So again, the 20D of Rowdy Day, he is your leader out in front of the field. The V8 of Robert Vetter runs in the second spot. Dalton Ragsdale, that's a USRA B-Mod race car. He sits in third. The 22M, that's Blake Beggs, and the 6P of John Potter rounds out your top 5. So 2 limited modifieds out in front of the field. Then you've got a series of 1, 2, 3 USRA B mods. Again, the field mixed among the 2 different types of race cars here at the Rocket Raceway Park during the 2022 season. And you know, we've hit on it multiple times this weekend. It's worth mentioning again, the level of competition between the 2 different types of race cars proving to be very even so far here early this weekend.
Yeah, and that's headed into a Battle at the Bull Ring weekend, right? We'll see these cars mixed with a couple other different types of Midwest B-mods, you know, whatever mid-level mod acronym you want to put on it. But very excited for that event coming up, the first of 2 10,000 to win B-mod shows in Humboldt, Kansas coming up this month. And again, always produces great racing action. Kevin Sester's getting a little frustrated there on the front straightaway, trying to get those guys single foul. Speaking of the 4-letter words, he was trying to keep them single file. I think he's got giving directions to Wes there to do something. Wes is going to drive on. He's going to
looks like maybe some
circle the tear off there and just.
All right.
No, he's getting in position. He says, anybody gets below you here, Wes, they're in deep trouble. They're supposed to be single file. I've seen this game before. Wes is the right guy to put down there as well. He won't budge. As I say that, he pulls away.
Made a liar out of you.
He saw him pretty well single file. Of course, Sester was in front of him. Sester's way too skinny to hide behind, so that may have been what was going on there for Wes's thinking on that one as we get the field doubled back up. What do we got here? 5 laps completed of 20. And Rowdy Day will have control of this restart for the Costin & Son Ready Mix USRA Limited Mods. Here we go, back to green.
So Rowdy Day once again rifles into turns 1 and 2. Dalton Ragsdale, though, strong restart, makes a bid on the bottom side of the speedway. He'll take over the runner-up spot. Back to the bottom of 3 and 4. Dalton Ragsdale switch lines with him. He's up top off of turn number 4. Continues to be Day out front.
Dalton Ragsdale's got a pretty good run along the top side of the racetrack. We'll see what he can do with the 20D of Rowdy Day. John Potter's in the mix now as well, trying to crack into the top 3 by Robert Vetter. So Potter now going after a podium spot in this one as Day continues to lead.
Now, you didn't figure John Potter to stay buried in the pack for long. Strong racer out of the Oklahoma area coming to the Rocket Raceway Park this evening. He's now in that podium position just in front of the V8 of Robert Vetter. Meanwhile, Rowdy Day still continuing to hold Ragsdale at bay, but Ragsdale right there and all over the wheel in car 22.
Yeah, Dalton Ragsdale's going to work. He's got the sleeves rolled up, but Rowdy Day is certainly a hard one to get around here at the Rocket Raceway Park, or pretty well anywhere in northern Texas. He's got that 20D out in front. Potter runs back in the 3rd place spot. 4th belongs to Jimmy Day. Mason Martin, that's the top 5, as we'll come around with 10 laps in and 10 to go.
So halfway home, Rowdy Day continuing to hold off from Dalton Ragsdale. John Potter now under fire for that 3rd spot. The 23M of Jimmy Day honking all over the backside of the 6P. He's got the 31 to is inside as well. So good racing for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They're 3 wide into turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, good racing between that trio. Still 3 wide working down the front straightaway. John Potter trying to hang on over Jimmy Day as we got a car around at the bottom side of turn 2.
Looks like maybe the 218 of Cody Blanton, I believe.
That's who it appears to be down at the inside of turn 2. So caution out for Blanton. as we'll begin the process of realigning the field. Trying to get Joe Findling in the 76 behind the 41 of Josh Knoyer, among a few other adjustments to make toward the back of the field. Pat, we've seen this this all weekend long, these limited mods and B mods very evenly matched here at the Rocket Raceway Park. Rowdy Day trying to go back-to-back. Dalton Ragsdale looks quick in that 22 as well.
He does, and it's kind of that, I hate to repeat the same story over and over, but when you can, work in the top of 1 and 2 and kind of find that moisture at the right time, you can make a move pretty well. But like you say, Rowdy's going for back-to-back, but I don't think this race is over yet, and maybe we'll have another one of those last lap shootouts like we've kind of had all night long.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Caution lights are down. Rowdy Day ready to crank them back up in this one. 11 in and 9 to go. Everybody kind of fanning out and going their own way, just kind of doing their own thing there coming to the green, but don't think anybody passed before they were supposed to. All's well, and John Potter is going to go for the lead down to the inside of Rowdy Day. Look at Potter in the 6P.
John Potter down to the bottom side of turns 3 and 4. They were momentarily 3 and 4 wide down the back straightaway. Potter going to be the beneficiary here as he takes the lead, but Rowdy Day looking to take it right on back. He's going to clip the whiskers on the 6P. Potter gives him a little honk of the horn. They'll file down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Day back out in front. Potter working the bottom side of the speedway with the 31 of Martin behind him, and Dalton Ragsdale unfortunately fading here late in this one.
You saw that veteran move out of John Potter to throw the slider off of turn 4 and protect right back down to the inside in turns 1 and 2. Not quite able to get there in time though before the 20D of Rowdy Day was able to overhaul the 6P. Nonetheless, great race out in front of your field. Ragsdale now on the back bumper of Potter. Mason Martin, a good run going well as well in 4th, as Jimmy Day, his night may be coming to a close here. That 23D, some smoke out of the back of his car down the back straightaway. Up into the flat spot there at the top side of turns 3 and 4, and I believe that is going to bring us under another caution, and it does, with 15 laps in and 5 to go.
So Rowdy Day on that last restart got tripped up into turns 1 and 2, and that allowed about a nearly 4 wide dash off of 2 down the back straightaway. John Potter momentarily took the lead. Day has wrestled it back. Now you got Potter and Ragsdale, 2 stout B-Mod drivers, right on the backside of the 20D for this restart.
So Pat, talk us through this this next restart coming up here. The 6P of John Potter really got aggressive on that last restart. Had thrown the slider for the lead coming off of turn number 4. Rowdy Day had crossed him over though into turns 1 and 2. What are you looking for the 6P here to try to put himself in contention for the win?
As you can see, I kind of moved down in here to turn 1 to get a little closer to the action. And I saw the same thing you guys did, some back and forth, and kind of like we talked in the stock cars, they're borderline playing nice, but it can get a little tight here in the middle of 1 and 2 when they're 2-3 wide on the restarts. And I don't look for it to change any with these guys. And I wouldn't want to guess who's going to come out ahead of this deal, but they've been real aggressive on the restarts. We'll be pretty interesting to see how this all shakes out.
Here we go, trying to get the field doubled up, coming around to the green flag, kind of still moving around for position there as we come to the green. I believe it'll be good enough to go though. Back underway, 15 in, 5 remain. Dalton Ragsdale going to try to take second, back away from John Potter. Potter will have to roll up to the outside. Mason Martin along the bottom. Good 3-car race for that second position. And now Potter's going to go after Day once again as we got Findling going around. Contact there with the G2G as well as the 41 of Knoyer. And out comes the yellow. So the 76 of Joe Findling going to be sent to the tail of the field. He was the cause for the caution there through turns 3 and 4, as that slows us back down with 16 in and 4 to go.
1 lap at a time. We will get there. 4 laps to go here in this 12th annual Texas Spring Nationals here from the Rocket Raceway Park.
We're inside that 5 lap to go window where we got to knock a couple of these cautions out, set up some dramatic restarts, all that good stuff.
It seems to be how it's worked out all night long, though.
So trying to get Canoyer in the 41. We're trying to give him his spot back here as he was just spinning to miss that incident down in 3 and 4. So Canoyer will be put back where he was in the running order of this one. 16 in and 4 laps remain in tonight's Costin and Son Ready Mix USRA Limited Mod A feature. Here we go, lights are out. Looks like we're keeping them single file on this restart. So bumper to bumper coming around to the green. 16 in and 4 remain.
Rowdy Day is going to light the candles off of turn 4, bring us back to green again. 4 laps to go. John Potter dives down to the bottom side of turn 1 and 2. He's got a good run. Day strong to his outside, though. They're side by side into turns 3 and 4. Potter again works the bottom side of the speedway. He'll try to slide up in front of the 20D and get it done, but problems in turn 2 bring us back to another caution.
Looks like the 0 of Court Morgan, the car around in turn number 2.
There's your early leader here tonight in the A feature.
Yeah, he looked really good early on in this one and is just faded throughout the entire distance. You can see damage on the right side of that 0 car as well, of course, out of Muskogee, Oklahoma.
I shouldn't have said anything. One more lap again.
One at a time.
One at a time, yeah, I shouldn't have said nothing.
Oh, boy.
Don't they call that the announcer's curse or something like that?
Or sometimes they just call it a limited modified A main. I mean, it's just, sometimes there's just facts. Sometimes you're just spitting the truth out there, right?
Racing at the front of the field good. Nonetheless, though, John Potter trying to come after the 20D of Rowdy Day for the win. Day going to have to restart this race from second, though. That's not something he's been used to thus far. Late in this A feature event. So Potter going to have this one in hand. Rowdy Day not liking the fact that he's going to have to restart in second. Doesn't think we got a lap in. Nonetheless, like we said earlier, at this point in the ball game, the boss man Todd Staley, his word is final.
Trying to get Court Morgan pulled into the infield here as well.
Day still pleading his case out on the racetrack to no avail.
So John Potter's going to have the lead on this restart. 17 in and 3 to go. Here we go, tighten them up. Back to the green flag, 17 in, 3 remain for tonight's Costin and Son Ready Mix USRA Limited Mod A main.
Rowdy Day, a good run along the top side of the speedway. Potter gets a good drive off the bottom of turn 2. They're side by side through turns 3 and 4. Day's got a good head of steam. Potter going to slide up, though. Day may have made a little contact with the wall as Potter keeps the lead.
Yeah, Potter looked like that 6P car got out from underneath him there for a moment, perhaps, as he slid into the side of the 20D. White flag is going to come to the air. Potter's going to try to hold that thing down this time, and Rowdy Day is going to reclaim the lead. Here we go. Final lap to the checkers. John Potter coming back after the 20D of Rowdy Day down to the inside. Checkers going to wave this time off of turn number 4. Potter with one last shot, but off of turn number 4, Rowdy Day picks up the limited mod win.
Rowdy Day, your winner. John Potter second, Dalton Ragsdale third, Mason Martin fourth, and Robert Vetter rounds out your top 5. So Rowdy Day going to go back to back here at the Rocket Raceway Park. and pick up win number 2 here during the 12th annual Texas Spring Nationals at Rocket Raceway Park. That is going to wrap up our racing events here for the evening, race fans. Thank you for coming out to us here at the Rocket Raceway Park. We're going to send it down to Pat Graham for your final winning interview of the evening.
We'll let him get this shut down. He just got her shut down. Helmet's off. Let him collect his thoughts. Let's give it up for him. Rowdy Day. I don't know where to start on that deal. I don't know if I've ever seen lead changes during the yellow. You guys were swapping the lead so many times. I don't know what was going, but man, it was exciting to watch from here.
Yeah, my radio come out of my helmet, and I couldn't hear anything. I never heard anything the whole race, and I didn't know it had come out. And I thought for sure I still had the lead, and I was waiting for somebody to pull me to the side and say, hey, you're in second. But we just had to get up on the wheel, and I had an awesome time. It's an awesome facility. Kevin and Kevin both doing an awesome job at this place. It's got a big future coming.
Hey, walk us through those last few laps. You kind of were out there cruising, got the lead. 6-car John Potter come up on you. You guys swapped the lead. Pretty aggressive driving both ways, but clean, hard racing, which is great to see. Talk about how the track is just real racy like that, just like you said.
Yeah, I mean, it's got character, and honestly, the fastest way around it is right through the ruts. But you just got to ball up and get up on the wheel and let her eat.
Rowdy, this is a back-to-back. That's a pretty good weekend. Tell us who you want to thank on this ride.
David, my crew chief, man, he goes everywhere I go, for sure. County Armory, Quick Latch, Montana, Kathy, my brother, my dad, my mom, everybody that helps me on this car. A&B Diesel Performance, Tony Batt, SSCR, Shane Stovall Roofing, Wells Racing Engines, IRP Race Cars, the list goes on, 517. I'm really blessed.
There you have it. Give it up for Rowdy Day. One heck of a race. Back up to you guys.
Thank you very much, Pat Graham. That will wrap up tonight's racing action here from the Rocket Raceway Park. What a weekend it was, as we saw first-time USMTS winner tonight. We saw a couple drivers go back-to-back. Michael Smith ultimately ended up the winner in the factory stocks. Of course, Rowdy Day just wrapping up his second win of the weekend as well. Like we said, that'll be a wrap. We got a few people to sign off for here. First off, on behalf of Rocket Raceway Park, Kevin Rogers, Kevin Sestair, all the crew here. Appreciate everybody supporting this inaugural weekend. Great things to come here in Petty, Texas for the Rocket Raceway Park. On behalf of everyone at the United States Modified Touring Series, appreciate you taking part in this event as well. For all the crew on the broadcast as well, Trenton Berry, Austin Kruger, Heather Stassa, Robert Claunch up on the camera, Josh down in the infield along with Pat Graham. Of course, Eric Chesterman here in the booth with myself, Bryce Hall. Thank you so much for tuning in on Race and Dirt or Race on Texas. That will do it here from Petty, Texas. We'll catch you at a race down the road. Good night and God bless.